A cold river in autumn is dark blood in a raised vein, urgent and insistent. When the sky breathes in, the fragile mist falls away, every chill and movement felt around a heart's soft underbelly, as if the meniscus of the river plays the rhythms of the oceans and the cadences of other seas. And there a white swan rising through the wind-driven rain, violent from the silence, arrow-bodied and head-tipped, blurs with each wing beat every colour of the trees, mixes on earth with the slipping tendon roots, until from movement to momentum, from tension to release, it goes scored, scarred and penetrating, up where the air is broken, and the yelling of its leaving spills. For a moment there is a room along the riverside, as complete, frame-braced and echoing as if 4 walls and a roof in uneven wicker had been built, acoustic space of unseen walls. Dovetail joints and branches woven wattle and leaf daub have made a space. Having gone into the temporary room and through, I can't go back, so should walk slowly. Not having made it, I cannot recreate it, so should wait. And this now is always richer than the edges of the next. This present moment we find ourselves in. Here everything can sound on me, provoke a response, play on me. A bow drawing across a raised vein in white flesh. And then the river, always passing, recreates, running through and over clay wood and mud. And every moment once made, it then makes left. The white swan had left a shadow and an echo. The damp cold air beneath its wings slowly settled, and the black river pushed on. The flute cutter's daughter sees sounds in every tree. Pear, cherry, plum. Measuring in her mind the lengths long enough to be turned and voiced. Altos in the trunk and descants in the boughs, the parts for sopranos up in the sun-touching reaches. The throats will be opened and the labium whittled with blades still cold from the whetstone. She walks through the orchard, not knowing why some places are sun brighter. Here she tries to stay, but the ground keeps turning beneath her feet, carrying her somewhere with insistence, always something moving just beyond sight. Her father makes each turned section bulb and part, as if it had been ordered by a king. Every boy or man who comes still muddy from the fields is sat in the workshop, given bread and ale, given the finger-jointed box to open for themselves. Like a new parent they are scolded and lectured, there are sermons. On this new incarnation that must be nurtured, the labiums should be played in. Keep them out of the sun and the wet, dry it after dances, practice after work alone in the woods, play to God on his throne but never the same tune twice. The flute cutter's daughter goes to the town chapel. As the boughs of darkness grow sideways through the windows, playing to the whitewashed walls and westing angels, uneasy of the company of the saints, she goes alone. Laying out the hand-copied staves, as rough as the barn doors they are ink-scratched, lines of uneven nails laid as notes. Her fingers trace them out over the soft wood of the flute's holes. She sees dancers in the corner of her eye. She is pinching the high notes and fancies the wood tenses as those notes find their way out. Angels watch just under the light. If children's angels are always before God, then the flute cutter's daughter has an angel staying on after the others have left. Part of her heart has not grown over. Her mind not taken the ribbed and lined bark. White flesh is kept open against the elements and shades. Sometimes every day is like a thirst. The flute cutter's daughter spends too much time alone, lying at dawn in the wheat as the veins of poppies rise and open up through the field. She hurries to be home and to prepare breakfast. So the linings of the flute boxes buy and trade in the market, keeping the movement of the dance lest the days carry her away somewhere. She lives for the dancers. When words are now breathed so fast in crotchet and quaver, she sees her notes slip under the feet and lift the dancers. Often frustrated with the slowness of the room, the dragging of the accordion and fiddle, she still fills gaps and pushes notes on the half-beat before. Bored with the advances of boys, she doesn't have to dance. She is the dance. And the dance must not stop. I yell up to the evening sky and call that bowed horizon in, will it lift its feathered head from out under those flecked ochre tongue-lined wings and turn some yellow eyes to me? Will it reach sharp taloned pupils to hold and take us where it goes, across the dust ball in its endless flight, to hide from the dumb unfeeling fireball? And we can be together in the gloom among the beams of shadows, to glide, to rise, to hunt, to leave, to kill, to hide, reveal. And I walked out of the warm summer earth from beneath the sun's arrows of seed-heavy wheat, and they'd buried me standing as I'd asked, and for 3 ticks of the clock or 4, I opened my heart and it opened a door. From the field to the street and past the old women, chewing bitter backy words, calloused and hard, past windows on walls of 50-inch screens with glittering teeth speaking empty themes, iridescent front rooms painted wood panel and beige, with nylon curtains and a lace netting cage. And I walked out of the warm summer earth from beneath the sun's arrows of seed-heavy wheat, and they'd buried me standing as I'd asked, and for 3 chords of the rope or 4, I opened my heart, and it opened a door. Down past the street where the mortgage is paid, past bankers, teachers, shopkeepers and preachers. Walking through brick like smoke around window frames, I slipped and I slapped and through shadows on walls, and I watched how love flickers in the passing of days when love is unquenched by the pressures or pain, but sits in the hand and is cupped in the fold, how we love to burn when love takes hold. And I walked out of the warm summer earth from beneath the sun's arrows of seed-heavy wheat, and they'd buried me standing as I'd asked, and for 3 notes of the song or 4, I opened my heart and it opened a door. Now a moth to the light of saloon bar windows, unseen and unheard, unwanting the current of things beneath words, and floating on beer the stories roll out, the pearls of faith on weft of doubt. And left on the window the wind-ridden rain had left me 12 lines of a requiem. And I walked out of the warm summer earth from beneath the sun's arrows of seed-heavy wheat, and they buried me standing as I'd asked, and for 3 quarters of the moon or 4, I opened my heart and it opened a door. So it's out of the pub and back up the street where I'd been before, and the Lord of Heaven stood by the gate. He laid me down and he kissed my head, and the poppies they run out and they stained the fields red, as I drank in the rain that fell, as I drank in the rain that fell. And I walked out of the warm summer earth from beneath the sun's arrows of seed-heavy wheat, and they'd buried me standing as I'd asked, and for 3 ticks of the clock or 4, for 3 chords of the rope or 4, for 3 notes of the song or 4, I'd open my heart, and it opened the door.